Hey, Taco here, coming to you live from Mark's Wife's She Shed, which is also my electronics bench and my ham radio shack and my extension of my editing studio. So today we are looking at January 8th and January 4th flights. The neat thing about the January 4th flight, it was my longest flight so far, and it involved a flight up to the next town over. It was an hour and 32 minutes, which is my longest flight so far. And my longest distance as well. So it was a absolutely gorgeous flight. First thing in the morning, and my camera crapped out about 5 minutes into the flight, so I lost the entire thing. And I had to wait on a plane to go by on the taxiway. There's a Cessna doing some flight training. I was actually very pleased with this launch. It was my first attempt to launch in nil wind. I didn't have any problem. Don't have the GoPro telemetry turned on. Now, of course, the GoPro is on my wingtips, or in my under the wing. There you go.
Parcel traffic, green Paramotor departing the field to the north will remain in local area about a mile north of the field at Hartsville.
And there comes Jake beside me in his BGD Luna. I'm flying the BGD Magic. He's flying a Luna, and our wings look very close to each other. Seen from the ground, you know, they look almost identical.
These out. Let's let our feet out. Okay. I'm loving my Uinta pack from Trevor Steele. It works great with these little gloves. I need to pull in my fat man strap. There we are. Ah, there we go. Okay. So, I can put my hands in here.
Oh, smoke system.
There we go.
The smoke's fun to play with, but when you start adding up the cost of smoke, if you use a full tank every flight, it winds up costing you about $6. So sometimes I don't even I don't even put smoke oil in the machine.
All right.
I replaced my hoop rope with Amsteel, that blue stuff. I've got my custom-made Iris engine pull start, also with Amsteel now, so I'm finally happy with all that.
Okay, you want to do that? Okay. He's way above me.
Shout out to Andreeviv, I don't know, whatever his name is. AirQuest Paragliding. Look how fast Jake's going the other way. We're hitting pretty good wind coming out of the north. So as we're going north, we're moving really slow. And then when you turn around, you gain probably about 12 miles an hour. AirQuest Paragliding for my last inspection. He also changed the length of my brake lines on those toggles just a little bit, and they feel perfect now. But the area out in front of me just a minute ago is going to be a solar farm, but there is a little grass strip runway that I've used once before.
Hartsville traffic, green paramotor. 1 mile north of the field. I'll stay out of your way.
Whoa, there goes Jack. I wonder where he went. Right over those houses. You can see how slow I'm going. At a certain point, there's an Army helicopter that comes in from the northwest. And I saw him on Gaggle, and he makes a couple of calls, and I finally do see him right before he lands at the airport.
Jake, I hope you heard his ass.
But I never see him take off again. And when we landed at the airport, he's not there. So I don't know what they did. Whether they just overflew the field because they said they were on final. Yeah, you see the bulldozers down there scraping out what may wind up being a ditch of some sort or some kind of drainage, I don't know. But the workman got out of the pickup truck, stared up at me the whole time. Unbeknownst to me, Jake had kind of done a low flyover of the construction site. Right now, I'm really enjoying this nice, flat, wide open field with no power lines. So it's very comforting if something were to happen. You know, I don't know how many acres that is, but it looks like several hundred, where I would definitely not have to worry about landing somewhere.
Army helicopter, green paramotor to your north, has traffic in sight at Hartsville. Whoa! I am booked.
If it snows, I really want to go fly over the snow. So if it snows, I'm going to do my best to get up. My only problem is going to be if it snows at night and I try to get to the airport in the morning, the roads are going to be icy. Thankfully, the airport is not that far away from where I live. Contrary to what you see on the video, I am scared of heights. Now, the paramotor doesn't bother me at all, and I don't know why. As soon as I take off, I feel great. But like if I had to climb up a ladder to get somebody out of a tree, I would be freaking out. Look at all the smoke haze. Lots of control burns going on.
Right above me. Oh, there's a plane. Don't like that. Hands off. Okay.
I freak out when I fly through my own weight. I do go woo. I'm gonna play a little bit with the energy, so I'm gonna pull left and right and left. Left, right. Right, left, right. Didn't pull soon enough, so I've got to wait for it to swing through, and like an A-wing should, it killed the oscillation pretty quickly. So then as I swing through the middle, I should have already been pulling, it looks like. It didn't kill it killed the oscillation too much again. So at this point I should be building energy and swinging a little bit farther up each time I turn. That one actually felt good.
gonna get seasick. Oh, okay, that's enough for me. That's enough.
You can see how quickly this beginner wing
Let's
dampens
go back to
that
normal, regular, plain old
oscillation.
flying.
2-3 swings and I'm back to level flight.
Okay, legs almost all the way out. Okay.
I spent a lot of time looking around for Jake. You don't want to do a hard turn and find out somebody's right next to you or just behind you.
We're the Army guys. Seal. Parcel traffic, green paramotor entering downwind for full stop, grass strip, runway 03 at Hartsville.
That's a smoke trail. It just went on for miles and miles. Now, I've been assured that this cleared patch is just somebody that's selling timber.
All
that
right.
they will replant. And there's not going to be a bunch of houses right here. Which I'm hoping is true.
That's gonna hurt.
The whole reason we fly over this side of the airport is that little neighborhood across the runway. They don't like that neighborhood doesn't like us over their houses, so we stay on this side.
Hartsville traffic, green parameter, right turn to final, runway 03 grass strip at Hartsville.
Now, not only did this landing feel really good, even the approach felt really good. I could tell when I turn around that I'm actually sliding sideways to my left. And I just kind of let it happen. And then when I got close enough, I could see the windsock that I made, or wind streamer that I made on my car. When I get close enough, I could see the wind streamer. I'm pointing right at it. So it felt really good. I want you to look how high Jake is, straight off in front of me. Look how high he is compared to where I am, and he lands just before I do. He comes down quick. Problem is with a big airfield, it's easy to aim big and miss big. If I had a little target to aim for, maybe I'd be like, okay, I gotta hit that. Aim small and miss small. There's a little bit of flying, and there's just some gorgeous imagery. Yeah, there goes Jake. He's already down. And I don't know, you can't see it on the video, but I'm pointing right at the windsock. And then I'm fussing because I don't want to land on the pavement. If I screw up, I don't want to flop over on asphalt.
Okay. Pressure. Oh, yeah. Well, that's one of my best landings ever.
I have really enjoyed my GoPro magnetic wing mount. I'll try to show it off next time I go to the field.
That felt good. Oh, that felt good. Oh. Okay.
January 4th, 30 degrees when we got to the airfield. My Insta360 was already on,
3, 2,
what was it on?
1.
Like 80% for whatever reason.
Ah, fly Jesus!
So after I took off, I really struggled. I wound up hurting my shoulder trying to push myself back in the seat. You can see I'm really kind of struggling to get all the way back in it. It felt like I was going to fall out. Of course, I can't fall off because there's, you know, leg straps, but it felt that way. Look at that gorgeous fog and coming through the trees like that, just streaming off in shadows. And finally, what I did, after struggling around and torquing my shoulder a little bit, finally what I did was just kind of pick my legs up, kind of like doing a crunch, and the bottom of the seat just popped right under me. I was like, oh, should have tried that first. Almost didn't fly. I got kind of disheartened. I was like, oh, well, it's going to suck. There's no clouds in the sky. It's going to be terrible. Might as well go home. And then Jake got there and he helped me get reset and kind of gave me a pep talk, and I took off. But look at that lake. You can see the plume from the nuclear plant where they're doing cooling stuff. And then they use the lake as a kind of as cooling water. So that lake is always warm or warmer than surrounding air and stuff. And it was 32 degrees by the time I took off, and just a gorgeous fog coming off that lake. What you miss is I did try to air deploy my my streamer, my 150-foot streamer that I made. I air deploy that, and it worked beautifully. And I flew around with it a little bit. Jake never saw it. He never looked up. And then I came in next to the field between the cars and the trees, way off in the middle of way off where nothing would be damaged or anything. And I dropped the streamer, and it just almost went straight down. So I figured, hey, I'll just take off and I'll put the gloves on when I get up. And it worked better than I thought. And unfortunately, you miss the streamer because the camera craps out. You miss our flight. Now, I did fly across that lake, but I did it at like 1,500, 1,800 feet. So I flew right over the fog, but I made sure I was high enough. If something happened and the engine crapped out, I wouldn't wind up in the water. Because the last thing you want to do on a sub-freezing day is wind up in cold nuclear plant water with 70 pounds strapped on your back. It's a good way to drown. And also, we kind of flew over the lake at a thinner point, or a skinnier point. So I had plenty of out options. What I didn't have was plenty of gas. We got towards the other end of that lake, or past the other end of that lake, over almost to a town called McBee. And I started getting worried because when I took off, I only had like 7 liters or so. We did a lot of ups, I did a lot of flying around before Jake took off. I did a lot of gaining altitude and then drifting back down. So I had my trims out because we were trying to fly across the lake, and it was we were facing a headwind basically. So I was afraid of how much gas I was using. And when I landed, I had about 1 liter left. So I cut it kind of close. I almost got to test out my off-field landing technique. Oh God. I'm not sure if I threw the Adobe filter on this one or not. But yeah, there you go. There's Jake over the moon, or under the moon. There he is. Now that's a really heavily zoomed in picture from the iPhone. But just there he comes. This is another, I threw another filter on this one. This is a different filter on the iPhone. I think it's Vivid Warm. Just amazing. You can see how lake effect snow would work. You see all that fog picking up and just being blown across the lake. Just amazing. I sent that to the weatherman at a local news station, and he was very impressed with what that looked like. This is on the way back. There's a weird line at the horizon. So these are all iPhone pictures. There's the nuclear plant again. I didn't go back across the lake. I went around the nuclear plant to the right, as you can see. But yeah, there's that dark line at the horizon, which is just really strange. But I hope you enjoyed all this. Hope I get to fly soon. And remember, rule 1, don't go splat. There's my there's my guess. That's all I ended with. And my splatometer. That's right. I forgot I put these at the end. Some of my I've been working with Replit on how to make this app and this thing work all together. So hopefully you'll see more of that in the future.